Hey, look what we have found. A big sound in a small town. Far away from the bright lights. They're making music every night. Discover what is all around. A big sound. A big sound. In a small town. Big sound, small town. A really big sound. Big sound, small town.
You're listening to Big Sound, Small Town with Sandy Carlton.
Months since we said goodbye, all because I couldn't chase the high derived from breadcrumbs I thought led to love. I was fighting all my feelings while you were fighting all your demons, and for reasons I can't explain, still thought I could be enough. Does she dance on tables like I wouldn't do? I bet she might be wild enough for you, but she could never take my place, 'cause you'll always feel the aftertaste. And every time you kiss her face, your heart breaks a little more. And every time you turn around, you hope that I'll be there somehow, 'cause when you look at her, all that you can see is that should have been me. That should have been me. We spent the holidays together, but now I can't help but wonder if it was only 'cause you knew we both had no one else. Both our families were estranged. Mine would call me by the name that caused me more shame than I'd ever felt. I bet you're spending Christmas Eve drunk driving, while I'm spending winter Christmas carolining. But she could never take my place, 'cause you'll always feel the aftertaste. And every time you kiss her face, my heart breaks a little more. And every time I turn around, I hope that you'll be there somehow, 'cause when I look at her, all that I can see is that should have been me. That should have been me. But I could never take her place, 'cause I would never play your games. But I see her making my mistakes, and my heart just breaks for her. And every time you turn around, I'll be nowhere to be found, 'cause when I look at her, all that I can see is that could have been me. Is that could have been me. She's enough for you and everything that I never want to be, but that could have been me. And I'm happy to be me.
Hey y'all, come out to the Earl Scruggs Music Festival September 1st through 3rd, 2023. That's Labor Day weekend at the Trine International Equestrian Center in Mill Spring, North Carolina. Enjoy music on 2 stages, workshops, craft vendors, food, drinks, everything you might want in a festival experience. We have lodging on site, and for 3 days, we have 3 major headliners. We have Emmylou Harris, the infamous String Dusters, Green Sky Bluegrass, and a whole host of other really incredible artists celebrating the legacy of Earl Scruggs for a full weekend. So don't miss it, September 1st through 3rd, 2023.
Hi, my name is Val Merza, and I am a singer-songwriter originally from the New Jersey, New York metro area, and now I'm in Charlotte.
Wow, that's a change, Charlotte from New Jersey.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where there's a lot more to life than New Jersey, and I had to get out while I still could. The longer you wait, the less likely it is that you're going to leave. So.
Culture shock moving here?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's people are generally nicer, and obviously that comes with some nuances.
Right.
But my personality was very hit or miss up there. Because usually if I just approached a random person and just like complimented them or like said hi or introduced myself, it would be a very, oh, what's her agenda? Like, what does she want? Or she's flirting with me. Or like down here, people will approach me. So it's definitely different. But I could not be happier. I'm very happy with the change I made.
That's good. Climate change too. Hotter here?
Oh, okay. My body was not ready for the allergies. I'm very congested right now.
Yeah.
So fighting for my life every morning.
Yeah, I understand. That is a big adjustment, I think. Yeah, it is. So, how has the songwriting community been in Charlotte?
Okay, so I feel like the songwriting community and the music community, they're very intertwined. They're not mutually exclusive, but they're also kind of different from what I've noticed. The songwriting community I got into probably as soon as I moved here, but in very, very small doses.
Right.
Because I would go to places like the Evening Muse.
Sure.
I would go to open mics all over Charlotte, and now I've been kind of branching out. But there are also like songwriting groups that I was recently introduced to. So people are very supportive of each other, and I love that. It was not the same up there. I mean, also, I wasn't doing music full-time up there, so I was only exposed to so much. But
Right. Well, so you are doing music full-time.
Yeah, I think I told you earlier how this was not the plan when I first moved down here. I was actually in wealth management up in New Jersey. I'm from Bergen County. And then I moved down here. As soon as I got here, the recession hit, the stock market crashed. I'm not licensed by FINRA in the state. So I just kind of decided, okay, I'll play a few gigs and like just until I can get a full-time job.
Right.
Now it's kind of just become a happy accident.
That's great. I mean, I guess you're finding plenty of work.
Yeah, I mean, I think people assume that just because I'm very extroverted, and I think that definitely helps me as a musician. I always say I'm not an extrovert because I'm a musician. I'm a good musician because I'm an extrovert.
Sure.
And that's definitely helped me, but I think people underestimate how much work it takes
They have
book
no
this
idea.
heavily. Like the cold call emails, walking into places. Like I could not have booked all this with even a part-time job, honestly. And now it's getting to the point where I can do that. But a lot of social media management on my end, and but it's been a lot. And it's very physically demanding.
Yeah.
Like, I think I posted something on Instagram where I said, to the people who say, it must be so nice, you only have to work like 6 to 8 hours on a weekend and that's it. It's like, who's going to tell them?
Yeah, they have no idea. Well, actually, you're getting a chance to tell them a little bit right now.
Oh.
Yeah, because, the people who listen to this podcast, a lot of them are musicians, but a lot of them just love music. So it's one of those things that all they see you is on stage for that little time, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
They don't see all the other stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, and this is just for being able to like pay my bills.
Sure.
Those 6 to 8 hours that people typically refer to, that comes from just sitting at a coffee shop from like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Just working on like my mailing list, working on
social media, like I have a premium Canva subscription, like, because I have to make all these posts, I have to schedule them at like certain times using analytics to decide like, oh, when are my followers most active? Just things like that.
Yeah, I do the
It
same
takes
with
so
podcasts.
so much time. I have a monthly newsletter that takes up a lot more time than I thought that it would when I first started this. But it's all like part of the business, I guess.
Yeah, and these days, with social media being what it is, it does allow you to do that without. In the past, you would have to have someone do that for you because you didn't have access to the media stuff that you do today. That being said, now you have to do it as opposed to pay someone to do it.
Yeah,
So.
and like before I did this, Now, at this point, I understand why people will pay entire salaries to other people to do this for them. Because I could just do this, and I am.
Yeah.
So only I'm doing it for myself, and I have to perform. And on top of that, I have to find time to write, to create, to practice, to learn like new chords.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, there's plenty of. Well, that's another avenue you could actually take on. Although you probably don't have time, you could do that for other artists too.
I've considered it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's extra income.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of musicians that aren't very tech savvy. Mm-hmm. You know, particularly older ones.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, so that's pretty cool. Well, okay, you didn't just start songwriting. I can tell by the way you craft your songs that you've been doing this a while.
Thank you. Yeah, I started. I've been writing for as long as I can remember. Songs, not as much. I think I don't even remember what song it was, but I wrote the first song probably when I was around 17. And Whatever It Takes, that's a song I didn't play today, but it's actually on my YouTube, shameless plug.
Sure, you can plug whatever.
Yeah, that was probably the first song that I am proud of, that I perform and I like to perform. That I wrote, I think, when I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
It was after a breakup, obviously. That's how it goes.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of love issues are wonderful things to write about. Both good and bad, and usually bad is really better to write about than good. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say when you're happy, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. I will say, I have probably more sad songs than happy songs, but that's shifted a lot, and it really shows in someone's songwriting how they've evolved as a person and the chronology of their songs. If you listen to Whatever It Takes, then you listen to Home, the way I used to write a lot more literally.
Right.
And it was more if you listen to Whatever It Takes, it's very chronological. It's very this happened and then that happened and then that happened. But in Home, it still does that, but it's a lot more metaphorical. There's a lot more symbolism. I like to put little Easter eggs in my songs, where only the person who the song is about, they will understand what I'm referring to, what conversation, what statement, what inside joke,
what ouch factor that has been inflicted.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Not everyone is very happy when they hear the song.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going there. Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff in them. I'm sure somebody's going, ouch, that hurt. You know?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's if you don't want that, then don't do the thing. It could all be so simple, you know?
Yeah. So as a female artist, okay, is it hard? It
is a completely different beast, being a woman on this scene. I mean,
is it worse than being a woman on any scene, or is the music even worse?
Well, the music, especially because you're an entertainer, and unfortunately, the reality is that sex sells. But whether I'm selling it or not, people will undermine my ability and my talent and my hard work to doing that. I think the other day somebody asked me, hey, quick question, do you think you use your looks to draw men to shows? And I said, well, what does that mean? I'm existing in public.
Right.
The reality is, like, I think a better question would be, do you think that some men come to my shows exclusively because they find me attractive and they want to, like, test and see if they can get something out of me? And to that, the answer would be, unfortunately, yes, but that's not something that I can control, and it's kind of like something that I'm skilled at and something that I've grown to be really good at. It's kind of just like minimized to this, oh, well, of course you're pretty. Like, you're pretty. You're going to get gigs. You're a pretty woman.
Sure.
I'm just like, so what you're insinuating is that men are going to try to use their position to try to get something out of me. What happens when I don't put out then?
Yeah.
Then I get blacklisted. Then I get called difficult to work with, which I'm totally fine with. Those places probably aren't worth working for anyway, or people working with anyway. But it is a very different experience. And I've met male artists who are very, like, established, know what they're doing, have been doing it for a long time. I've been told, I don't know how you ladies do it. I couldn't do it.
I mean,
because they see it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Well, how about other female songwriters and singers and all in the business?
So actually, I have not met many.
There's not. I mean,
yeah,
and
I
that's
wonder
one of the
why.
things, you know, and there's 100 reasons to drive them away, and I think a lot start and then realize it's kind of a difficult task because there is an element to it that I am not faced with that you would be faced with.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so
it's hard to explain that.
Yeah, it is, and I'm sitting on the side where I've seen it all happen, and also another thing too is a lot of times when there's established stuff, youth is also not sometimes welcomed. You know, male or female, really, but probably even more so for a female.
Oh yeah, and like I've been told by someone, oh, well, because I told him you would get a lot more traction if you paid your artist, because I could tell that he was just preying on up-and-coming talent and for free showcases.
Yeah.
Like, and he said, well, I've been alive for 10 years longer than you, and you're not at that level yet. And then I went in and I saw that he didn't say, I've been doing this longer than you, because it turned out he hadn't.
Right.
And people
You've just been alive on the face of this earth 10 years.
Exactly. And he would not have talked to me that way if I was a man.
True.
And even in songwriting, like I remember some guy was being really disrespectful, and I called him out and he said, oh, sorry, I don't want to end up in one of your songs. I'm just like, oh, I get it now. And the thing is, he had never even heard my music yet. It's just, oh, you're a woman and you write songs. So it's a very like the whole Taylor Swift like misogyny thing, like for so many years that even I bought into because I was a young girl and I just kind of jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not in no way, shape, or form on her level, but like I understand what she meant back then.
Oh, I understand it totally. I mean, there's two ways from being a male on this side is being aware of what females have to go through or being part of the problem, you know?
And it doesn't make you a bad person necessarily to like have engaged in that behavior in the past, because a lot of it is just the way that you're conditioned for such an early age. But the problem becomes when you refuse to acknowledge it and pretend to be perfect.
Well, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's I think it's a doubly hard chore to be a female artist of any type.
Oh yeah.
You know,
comedians.
Well, even in the general workforce. I mean, they've been doing that longer, and it's probably more. It is probably moved into a bit of a more modern time in the business aspect. You know, but the entertainment side is, you know, you have your standard thing that women are supposed to do. You know,
the administrative side.
Yeah. And then in the entertainment business, it's like, well, yeah, you can be a singer, but you can't really be a songwriter. You know, I mean, you
That
know,
takes depth.
that takes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, and like something that I felt the urge to say to the whole, oh, you only write songs about like relationships and like,
Yeah.
and my immediate rebuttal, I would feel the urge to be like, no, but I write songs about other stuff too, which is true, but also that's not the appropriate rebuttal, because so what? What if I do only write? I'm 24 years old.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be good at relationships.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, a lot of times people write about bullshit to begin with, you know. So I mean,
if it has a catchy chorus,
oh well, you're
know?
right. I mean,
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, they sell
yep.
really, really a lot of records with songs that really are not that good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's where marketing comes in.
it is. And you know, there's some artists who stay true to their art, male and female, and they don't have the commercial success that their talent necessarily merits, because they're not. They're interested in the song for the song itself, for the writing of the song, more so than the commercial success. I don't think they ever think. Some of the great writers, I don't think monetary reward was ever a part of it. Maybe it became that in the end, but at most songs are written from the standpoint of, I'm writing this, and if something good happens, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have worked as a songwriter where I got paid to write songs,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, it's cool, but you know, to get your money, you're going to write junk. I worked a place where I got $100 a song, and I try to write 3 a week. Well, you know, I knew, and they knew that most of those are crap.
Yeah.
But they're shooting on the fact that you have one good one out of that, and it becomes totally different when you do that that becomes more of a trade, and you so you start writing to get recorded. You don't write for, you don't write, but then a lot of those people wind up with good songs too, because usually having to write songs for a living makes you sad and angst too. So you have plenty of bad stuff to write about.
It's
so
really
eventually
just
you'll get some.
repetition. You just
It
keep
is.
writing, and I've probably written like over like 30 songs.
Yeah.
Maybe 15
Sure.
of them I feel comfortable like performing or recording.
Well,
But also that's part of the whole thing about like being the full-time musician. It kind of starts to suck the joy out of it, especially when you start to see it as an obligation instead of something that, because before it was like I would want to go to like this event or this
Right.
music, like this open mic thing, and most of the time I would want to go, but sometimes I'd be like, I just kind of want to stay in.
yeah.
But now it's like I feel almost obligated because of the exposure.
And I need the money.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Like, how am I going to pay my rent otherwise?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's when I write now, I'm thinking like very recently I wrote the most recent song that I wrote is probably one of the most personal songs I've ever written. It's probably not going to get performed very often because it's very personal. But I couldn't help but think to myself that this is not like a happy, like upbeat, like song that people are going to dance to and like tip me for.
Right.
And it's not going to get played at gigs very often. So when I was like, wait, this isn't why I started doing this.
Yep.
But it's always going to be in the back of your mind when you're doing this
Sure.
whole time, and that sucks.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, you reach a point to where, okay. Well, I'll equate this to being in a band. Okay, so you got some really good songs, but you're realizing that more people will hear your songs if you do some cover songs. And that's a trade-off that no songwriter wants to make.
Yeah.
But they want people to hear their songs, so they're going to do covers. And that's the same way with even doing your own stuff. You have some songs you really like to do, and unless it's a listening room per se,
Yeah.
then nobody's going to pay them a lick of mind. So you have to substitute or write you some that will work for that. And one of the things I have found as a songwriter is sometimes I just have to live a little bit and then come back and write. You know, sometimes I have to just kind of take a break, go live my life a little bit, and then come back.
Yeah.
I'm also been accused in my life of creating problems for myself just so I would have something to write about.
I think I heard you say this to Mike in the last podcast.
I think I have been accused of that.
That's really funny.
And there could be some truth to that. I mean, I think it's not something that I intentionally do. I think it's just worked out that way.
Yeah.
You know, so
Silver lining.
yeah,
of your
maybe.
troubles. Yeah. No, like for example, the song "Home." Like the original version is also on YouTube, but the version that I played today, that was an alternative version.
Right.
And I wrote that. I wrote "Home" when I first got here. I started dating someone after about a month, and we were together 4 months. We broke up, still on good terms. Lovely guy. Yeah. But I wrote that song about 2 months, 3 months into the relationship, and then we broke up.
Oh, then you added to it.
Exactly.
I mean, I just listened to the song, so I know. But
yeah,
you had to. Chapter 2.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No, I'm actually recording, and I'm probably going to have the original version of it, and then
oh yeah,
the
that's a
revisited
pretty good
version.
idea actually.
Yeah, it's going to be "Home" revisited. In parentheses.
And do the that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. Are you going for a full up one, or are you going to have a stripped down version?
So yeah, like I definitely want there to be a completely different like vibe, I guess, and that comes with the instrumentation and like production, but. For the alternate, I think the alternate version is actually like 6-7 minutes long because of all the amendments.
Right.
But I don't even know yet. I'm still working with Vocal Inc. Productions in Charlotte. This is my 23. Fun fact, is going to be my first single. So I don't have a date for it yet.
Right.
Because I'm still working on it, and I'm congested 24/7. So it's been a bit of a challenge.
As you see, my voice is going, and I have to play and sing tonight.
Oh, have fun with that.
It's a Mardi Gras show, so nobody will.
Nice, yeah. As long as you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll after it first starts, nobody will care much.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But
I'm struggling the same way you are this morning. So, I'm glad that you're getting to record some. You know. Yeah,
it's been. A few years ago, I think 2 years ago, I had blood clots all over my lungs, because of some freak medical stuff, and then a while later, I had another medical issue where. My lungs are at like 65% capacity now. Before they were at 25. So I can't sing the way that I used to. I also can't play the way I used to because my left side of my body is all jacked up. Yeah. So deciding to be a full-time musician was a very inconvenient career choice for me.
At least at the moment, right?
Oh, exactly.
I mean, that will probably improve, right?
Yeah, over time. It has. The more progress I make, the slower the progress is going to be. And I've already made a lot. So, but like going through all of those things.
Did you come from a musical background?
No, not really. I mean,
you teach yourself to play guitar,
yeah,
I guess.
I've never. I mean, funny people think I know what I'm doing.
But I mean, people, you didn't have like come from this family that are all musicians and stuff.
No.
Okay.
No. We had like a keyboard in the house, but I like didn't really. Yeah. We had a guitar. I never really picked up on it. Nobody really.
Nobody in the family.
No.
Yeah.
I went on. I heard. This is how you know I was a troubled kid because there's this pop punk band, All Time Low.
I know.
Yeah. So you know what I mean when I say troubled kid.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. I heard the song Therapy by them and how it starts off on like electric guitar, right. I think. I was like, I was 14 years old. I was like, oh my God, I need to learn this song.
I want to do that.
I've never touched a guitar before. I looked up a YouTube tutorial on how to play it. I learned the chords and I just thought, okay, this is going to be the first song that I play and probably the last. I was like, And then 10 years later, here I am writing my own songs.
That's cool, and that is one
Thanks,
of the,
All Time Low.
That's exactly, and that's that is one of the beauties of having YouTube.
Yeah.
I came from a world where I had to lift a needle up off a record and drop it down on the part I wanted to learn, and then pick it back up and drop it back down in the right place. Oh yeah, it stunk. And sometimes the quality wasn't that good, so a lot of times I didn't get it right. I got it close, but not right. But now you can get it right. YouTube comes along, and I find out, oh, I used to play this. I've been playing this wrong for years. It's like I thought I was playing this thing right.
Yeah.
So YouTube is a wonderful tool for musicians.
Yeah, and oh my god, and just they have full tutorials of specific, complete song strumming patterns, and picking. I still don't know how to read tabs just because I'm impatient and I don't I'd rather just strut. And plus, because I'm playing the entire time for 3 hours straight, it makes more sense for me to just strum chords anyway, because I'm not going to be able to go very long, especially with my left side, picking and stuff. But it has proven to be a bit of a challenge in recording just because, again, I know 6 chords.
Oh, yeah.
And
also, I guess too, with recording, and you have to work with click tracks too.
Actually, funny enough, I thought that I could not follow a click track, and I always joke and I say that, it's not really a joke. I can't play with other musicians because I cannot keep a beat to save my life.
Right.
We had the entire guitar track down in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
obviously you can. Some people can't. Some people have a hard time doing that, but that must come natural to you.
I guess. I think people underestimate themselves, especially as musicians, all the time. We're most critical of ourselves. You know this.
Oh, yeah. They are. I mean,
we hear that one little note that you kind of were a little flat in, and you just think, that, oh God, you look around, nobody cares.
Oh, they don't.
They really don't.
We like to laugh about the fact that the band that I play in makes a lot of mistakes, but nobody ever really knows it. We know it. Sometimes other musicians don't, but also we're pretty good at covering up our mistakes. I mean, we kind of know what to do when we make one.
Yeah.
And that just comes
or
from
you
playing
learn
a lot.
how to self-deprecate or
exactly.
make fun of yourself a little bit or
you do.
make that face,
Sure, I do.
Yeah.
And I think people are okay with that as long as you're acknowledging it. It's like, hey, I just messed up.
Or just, oh my God, it's the worst when, and I used to do this, but you learn as you keep doing it, but oh, sorry guys for that.
Oh yeah.
Just shut up and keep being great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's too. I have hard times playing new songs I wrote for people, and the people I know best are the ones I have the hardest time for. For strangers, I could care less.
Yeah, I was playing a song for a friend, and it was just him in the room, and I was playing it, and I kept messing up, which is something, and this is a song that I play regularly at open mics and gigs, and it's just very easy because I've been playing it so many times. I think it was home, actually. It's so much more intimate when it's one person there, or when it's people you know. It's
different
because you feel perceived so deeply.
The two things that are hardest is playing something new actually, when you play a new song the first time for anybody, it's hard. Whether it's out live, whether it's for a friend, that is really hard because it's like, okay, I just been working on this thing and there's a possibility you're going to say, yeah, nah.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? The song Home, I know I keep bringing it up, but it's it's very relevant to all these things. When I sang Home for the first time, the original version, the guy that it's about and him, he was there at the open mic when I played it for the first time.
Oh, okay.
And I told him beforehand, he did not like being the center of attention. I told him, baby, don't look left, don't look right, look right at me because everybody's gonna be looking at you. And we just kept making eye contact during certain like moments of those Easter eggs that I was telling you about, that like those little secret messages that I like to throw in my songs. And it was just like a very knowing look, and it's so special when you're able to do that.
Yeah,
and you're not all the time able to do that. So
well, also when you do it for a living, you're not on every night. Some nights you just, some nights you just aren't there. I mean, people don't realize that either. It's when you do it all the time. Sometimes it's like, I don't feel that great today.
Yeah.
And probably what you're seeing now is not what you'll see tomorrow night.
Yeah, and that I've noticed that about myself. And recently I've been getting a lot more. And the funny thing is, I have not written any differently. I don't perform very differently than I used to. But recently I've been getting a lot more like positive feedback on like when I get emotional on stage, and people can smell disingenuous behavior from a mile away.
They can.
So when I'm singing a song and like I have a song, Hey Stranger, where it's also about him. Yeah, I do that a lot.
There you go.
But I started writing about a week after we started dating. And when we were breaking up, I was singing it, and my voice was cracking, and people just knew, and that's way more.
Sure, it's the emotion that you're putting in it.
People have noticed that and said that to me, and it's very interesting because I don't write that differently from how I used to. I think it's just that I've learned how to, because I don't focus as much on getting the note right, and instead just like feeling it,
putting more emotion in it.
Yeah, and just inserting myself and just kind of forgetting that I'm playing. Is just like flashing back to those moments that I'm singing about. And the way that I put it is compromising accuracy for delivery.
Sure.
And people appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because they feel like it's not performative, and they know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if they know me as a person. They know that I don't have the time for that.
Well, yeah, but sometimes that's hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Especially
when you know that people appreciate that.
Right.
And then it becomes a little more manufactured.
It does.
It's a slippery
it is
slope.
more. Yeah, it does. It's like, oh, they're expecting this now, and I don't know if I can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
especially
I think
when everything's going right.
Right. If things are going right, and you've done the song now like I don't know 100 times, and it's like I can't put myself in that place anymore.
Yeah. Because you're a different person.
You are a different
Hope
person.
It differently. You
and
perceive it differently.
Songs are kind of a snapshot of where you were when you wrote that song, maybe not where you are now.
Yeah.
So.
And it's very hard. Like, I'll listen to the songs that I've written, for example, Whatever It Takes. It's about a long-distance relationship. I was dating someone when I was in New Jersey, someone who lived in Montreal. Listen, I was 18. I didn't know any better. But
was that no, I was getting to say, was that an online meeting?
Actually, funny enough, it was on Tinder.
That is America, though, these days.
Oh, yeah. And I also, now I'm banned off Tinder for life. We'll talk about that sometime. But, the way that I wrote that song, listening to it now, it's like part of me wants to kind of change the lyrics because I'm a very different person. And I'm just like, no. Home is different because it was so recent.
Right.
And sometimes you don't realize that a song is unfinished until you finish it. But I will kind of want to keep that little library.
Well, I have learned of late. This is something I've learned late from a songwriter that I really, really like and have a lot of respect for, a guy named James McMurtry. So he did one of his songs, and he said, I wrote this song a long time ago, and I think I could write it better now, than what it is. And then somebody told him, they said, you can do that. It's not set in stone, even if you've recorded it. And who is the best at that is Bob Dylan. Today, he might do a song this way. Next time you see him, the words may even be different. So, I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, something else I like to do. I have I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. She's probably like my biggest songwriting inspiration.
I love Taylor Swift.
She's so good. Oh God, queen. But she has 2 songs. She has Champagne Problems, and All Too Well. She rewrote it a 10-minute. Well, she didn't rewrite it. She just released a 10-minute version.
Right.
I rewrote both of those songs, and I play them at gigs because they're songs that people recognize and appreciate, but it has my own spin to it. So it's a good way to kind of engage the audience without playing originals, but also playing originals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I haven't even thought about that.
Exactly, and like it's just, there's so much that like we don't think about at the beginning.
True.
And it's like, oh, and I'm pretty sure I learned, like I got that idea from someone else, maybe on YouTube, that they like rewrote, like I think it was like a Justin Bieber song.
Yeah.
They like rewrote the lyrics. I was like, wait, that's actually kind of a good idea. What song can I rewrite that I really relate to, but I can tweak all the lyrics?
Sure.
And it's and that's so much fun because it's also like less work.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, the structure's already there.
You know, that can kind of harpen all the way back to rap. I mean, you know, you can take. It's not the same as sampling something from someone else, but then again, it is a lot like that too. I mean, you're sampling more of an idea than you are a musical portion of a song, but still it's
more conceptual,
in the same,
but
conceptually it's kind of the same.
Yeah,
you know, it's
I love songwriting, and like I talk a lot. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, I'm beginning to figure that out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But like someone once asked me, like, well, you like songwriting, but you have so much to say. Don't you feel like it kind of limits you? Because you have to kind of fit it into the structure.
You do have to fit it in a structure, yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm just like, but it kind of also forces me to think about what I'm writing about in so many different ways. Like, how can I get it to fit into this?
Compact it, yeah.
Yeah, and it forces me to kind of look at it in different angles that I wouldn't have otherwise.
That's why I always tell book writers, authors, that they have an inferior craft because they can say it in as long and as many ways as they want to, where we as songwriters have to put it in a small window of time to say the same thing that poets that you get in a whole book to say.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean.
Song is worth so many words.
Yeah. I mean, so it's, you know, I'm envious of them. I'd like to be able to write, you know, 30 verses or something to try to get my point across to you. But then after about the 5th one, nobody would be listening. Like, I'm not, you know. Now, I don't care how many different ways he can tell you he loved the person, but this was the reason they're no longer in love anymore, is I don't have time to listen to all those, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, so that's.
And keep creating like hooks in your songs to keep people engaged.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, a hook is essential to a song.
Yeah, even in the middle or
anywhere, anything that just grabs them and holds them is an important part of songwriting. You ever co-write?
No, I've never co-written.
You ever thought about it?
I have. I am extreme. I have control issues over my material.
I have control issues about everything. So.
I mean, I didn't say that, but
I didn't say it either. But
it's true for me too, a little bit. But especially with songwriting, because it's so personal, and I literally say the word Charlotte, and like it's all very relatable, and I like that about how I write. It's like people can relate to it, even though I'm mentioning very specific details. The gist, people feel seen and heard by that, and I like that a lot. But co-writing, I wouldn't sing or play someone else's songs for myself. Like I wouldn't have a ghostwriter, not at this point at least. I'll never say never, but I'd be willing to do that with someone else. But that wouldn't be my song.
Would you write songs for other people?
Probably. Hit me up.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like there is a market for writing for other people.
That's true.
You know, however, you just have to find the person, you know.
Yeah.
So, which sometimes can be, well, you live in Charlotte, which is a big city, so there's probably people you can find there.
Probably, yeah. I don't even know how that would. I gotta pick your brain about that later. Then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's yeah. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about songwriting that we can't talk about on this show
Oh yeah.
because it steps on people's toes a bit.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Ooh, that's honestly like maybe that could be like a future thing where for people who want to listen to the dirt.
I mean, you know, it's I'm not going to mention where this is, but you know, some of the songwriting societies, they all of their songwriters sound exactly the same. They write, okay, Charlotte, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody in Charlotte these days that has a guitar thinks they're a songwriter, and you're not. I just hate to tell you that. And you know, you go to a lot of songwriting workshops, and you all sound the same. You know, hey, just learn to write it on your own. You know, don't follow somebody's formula. Every idea is not a good one. So keep that in mind as a songwriter. When you go looking around, it is good to be around other songwriters, but become your own person. Don't become a copy of the person who taught you how to write a song. You know, use your own ideas about it. Enough said about that.
Enough said about that.
I'll be blackballed from that stuff. So.
Start getting DMs while you're.
Mike, I guess I'll be coming to any of your songwriter circles.
Oh God.
Nah, Mike, you're good. Well, I'm good. I'm good with you, Mike. I was not talking about you.
Just had a heart attack now. Just oh God.
Yeah, no, we're good, Mike. That was not directed at you.
I love starting drama on podcasts for no reason.
Okay, so the sad thing is the ones that it affects have no idea it's them.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
they think they're great songwriters. So they even enter contests and sometimes even place or win them till you realize that songwriting is not a competition.
Yeah.
It's there's no songs tell you how good they are. You don't have to pit your song against someone else's to have a winner. You know,
It's also subjective.
it is. And a lot of times, songwriting contests have nothing really to do with songwriting or how good a song it is. It's about performance. It's about somebody's good voice. It's about someone's good looks. You know, it's not about the song itself. And most of those people who judge those things they don't take that. I'll be kind. They don't take that in mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
give me all the places they can find you. You know, this is a chance for them to discover you on your different. Promote yourself.
Yeah, okay. So you can, I mean, I play mostly in Charlotte, but recently I've been branching out a lot. So you could find on my website, valmerza.com. That's all my upcoming show dates. Hopefully I will be on a streaming platform soon, like Spotify, Apple Music. I have a YouTube channel that I'm hopefully going to be uploading more videos on. Right now I have 3 videos up there. My Instagram is Valmerza Music. My Facebook, Valmerza Music. That's my Facebook page, and you can find me on all of that.
If they if they hear you on here and they want to hire you, then that's how they reach you.
Yes, there's a contact form on my website, so
Okay.
you can reach me that way.
All right. I appreciate you driving down here and doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
too long ago. When I'd get home, I'd find my mother at the door. She'd be worried if I got home past 8, but lately I've been staying out till 4. I used to be afraid of strangers, wouldn't even try to talk to my neighbors 'cause of all those stories in the papers all year. But now I get into strangers' cars and I meet them when I'm out at bars, and I tell them my place ain't too far from here. I feel too much and I talk too little, and when my friends fight I get caught in the middle, but no one said it'll get more simple at all. I'm messy and impulsive and I'm quick to judge, got a habit of falling in and out of love, but it's all just a part of growing up, you see. This is just my 23. Half my friends are married with kids, and the other half still gotta ask their parents to go out past 10. Half my friends, they hate the drama, but the other half, it's like high school never ends. And dating is such a fucking pain. Guys in their 20s, they're all insane, but guys in their 30s play the same old games. It's like nothing ever fucking changes. I look to my girl who just got engaged, and I can't help but feel a bit ashamed, but I know that our timelines ain't the same, and that's okay. 'Cause I feel too much and I talk too little, and when my friends fight I get caught in the middle, but no one said it'll get more simple at all. I'm messy, impulsive, I'm quick to judge, got a habit of falling in and out of love, but it's all just a part of growing up, you see. This is just my 23. This is just my 23. I may not have everything I wanted, but just 2 years ago I put myself through college, and I made friends that I can only hope won't forget me. I'm on my way to better things. Is it a better job? Is it a diamond ring? 'Cause no matter what this life may bring, I'm ready. I love too hard and I just get burned, but sometimes I guess it takes a couple times to learn. I believe I love yous even when they're slurred, and I know over time it's only gonna get so much fucking worse. I'm stupid and naive, but I'll be fine on someone else's timeline. I might be behind, but I think I'm doing just great on mine. You see, this is just my 23. Oh, this is just my 23. We've all been 23. Barely 24 and I knew that it was time to go. I didn't have a plan, just a chance and a mind made of stone. This city wasn't even on the list till just a month before. I'd be a stranger for hundreds of miles, and the thought would make me smile. I'd left everything that I'd ever known behind. So love was the last thing on my mind. This city's everything I wanted, and somehow even more. I didn't have a bed or a mattress, but at least I've got my living room floor. I was safe and sound and happy, and everything else in between. But for the first time in my life, I craved a little change to my routine. I may not know what lies ahead, but I know one thing to be true. This city wouldn't feel like home without you. I was scared that maybe we were moving too quickly, but it took 15 seconds to call you pretty. Now when you talk about the future, you never forget to mention me. And I find myself thinking hopefully, I hope we never stop speaking in poetry. 'Cause this city's everything I wanted, and somehow even more. I didn't have a bed or a mattress, but at least I've got my living room floor. I was safe and sound and happy, and everything else in between. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I met an angel through a screen. I may not know what lies ahead, but I know one thing to be true. This city wouldn't feel like home without you. As we approach the end of summer, when you bring these roses back to life and make blue a happy color, I can't wait to see what the season brings, as things are better in the fall. Maybe then the color red won't seem so bad after all. There's comfort in the silence between the words we leave unspoken. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to find the words when we're all a little broken. Part of me wishes we could have met before that night, but then we'd be different people. I think we finally got it right. Jersey was never kind to me, the only life I'd ever known. But the more time that I spend with you, the more Charlotte feels like home. This city's everything I want, and now you're somehow even more. I was ready for anything, but I'm glad I won't be facing it alone. You were everything I wanted, you just couldn't be what I need. And I never understood the sentiment, but now I finally know what they mean. The city may not feel like home just yet, but somehow you already do. The greatest part of moving here was you. And I know that I'll never make you mine again, but at least I met my best friend, even if it might hurt for now. And we know that we won't have the life we hoped we would, but that doesn't mean it won't be good. We'll still love till we don't know more. And it hurts that night we had to say goodbye, but at least I got to call you mine. You made Charlotte feel like home. Thank you for making Charlotte feel like home.